welcome to all of you esteemed colleagues as well. I just give a broad outline of the company before I ask Raj and John to take over with the details of the presentation. So we've been in this automobile dealership or in the automobile space for the last 7 decades. So we're a long-standing automobile dealership. We started off with Maruti from 1984. Before that, we were spares distributors and retailers across. And today, as we speak, we handle approximately, we did a sale of 60,000 new vehicles last year in the financial year FY23, of which 48,000 were new vehicles and 12,000 pre-owned vehicles. But more importantly, and our focus and our growth story is about our services. So we did approximately 1 million vehicle services, and Ashwini had mentioned 5.2 lakhs for the first half of the year. So we'll cross 1 million plus this year. And that is where our focus is in terms of our growth. So our service and the strength that we have is in terms of skilled manpower. We have an exclusive training center for the manpower, and we win probably most of the skill competitions across OEMs over the decades that we've been participating. So that's one focus area. Second is in terms of our management, and that is Raj. He has an experience from Airtel before he joined us. John was with Rane Brake Systems, and across a portfolio of people that we have from people from various industries, and that gives a blend with people who have grown within us. And in 2018, we created an independent board, and Jacob Kurin is our independent chairman, who was earlier the former CEO of Tanishq. Preeti Reddy, the independent director, woman director, who was the chairperson of Kanta, the WPP Market Research Agency, and George Joseph, who was a former CMD of Syndicate Bank and Canara Bank, and also Wonderla Holidays. So we had an independent board and management professionals from across industries, and that gives us a strength in terms of expansion. We are currently present in 4 states, that's Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Maharashtra. And as I said, 1 million vehicles of service, which contributed to approximately 15% of the turnover of the company, but more importantly, approximately 55-56% of the EBITDA margins. I will ask John and Raj to take you through the entire presentation.
Figures have already been touched upon by Ashwini and Naveen, but I'll just quickly run through the presentation. So, on the left quadrant, you see the position that we hold nationally in terms of sales numbers, where we stack up nationally across the other dealers. So, across all the brands that we take care, if you look at it, we are in the top 10. You can see that we're number 2 in Bharat Benz, number 4 in Tata Motors, Maruti at number 7, etc. But what is more significant is what you see on the right hand side, which is a position that we hold in terms of absolute volume, absolute numbers of service job cards cut. Very clearly we are in the top 3. And while we are number 7 in sales for Maruti, if you look at here, we are number 1 in terms of service. So we'll touch upon this in the subsequent slides in detail, but what is point that to be noted here is that our service market shares are much higher than the sales market share. Very clearly, people who buy cars from other dealers also come to us for service. We started in Kerala, and right now we have a network of about 432 touch points spread across 4 states, which has 61 showrooms, 33 sales outlets, which are the 133 sales outlets, which are the smaller booking offices, 139 authorized service centers, 30 used car showrooms, and 69 touch points for our spare parts distribution, which is outside of the dealership. John will touch upon the finances in detail in the coming slides, but in a quick nutshell, from FY21 to 23, our turnovers grew from about 2,900 crores to almost 4,900 crores, and the EBITDAs moved from 175 crores to about 235 crores. And H1 of this year is also looking good at 2,800 crores on the turnover and 145 crores in terms of the EBITDAs. So these are some of the key strengths that we have. I'll touch upon it in detail in the coming slides. One of these key strengths is our long-standing relationship with most of the OEMs. By and large, for most of the OEMs that we are associated with, we've been there with them from their day one in India. So 1984, when Maruti started the dealerships in India, we were one of the first 17 and the first in Kerala. So we started off in Trivandrum. So that's a very long association with them. 1997 is when we started our Tata commercial vehicle dealership. So that's also almost 27 years. 2002 was when we were moved the Maruti business. We were able to expand into Tamil Nadu. 2005 is when one of the subsidiaries, Popular Auto Dealers Limited, started the spare parts distribution in Kerala. Today as we speak, we deal in genuine spares distribution for Maruti, for Tata passenger cars, Tata commercial vehicles, Ashok Leyland and JCB. 2006 is when the Tata commercial business also expanded into Tamil Nadu. We have a 15-year association on Honda from 2008 onwards. So 2010, when JLR entered India, we were again with them from the day one. So we take care of the Karnataka market. Similarly, in 2012, when Bharat Benz entered India, we were one of the first, started in 2012. And if you look at all the OEMs, it's like that. In 2021 is when our subsidiary company started Ather, the three-wheeler business, and also in terms of Ather two-wheeler and Piaggio three-wheelers. And 2022, we were able to move the Ather business into Tamil Nadu. And we also acquired a major dealership in Maharashtra in terms of the Bharat Benz commercial business. So this is in terms of the touch points that we have. 39 years with Maruti, 204 touch points, 15 years with Honda, 19 showrooms. I think it will come in detail in the subsequent slides. This is how our spread is. If you look at the bottom portion, on the left side, that's where we started in Kerala, where we have the maximum. So we have 289 touch points. Tamil Nadu, we have got about 58 touch points. In Karnataka, 6 touch points. And Maharashtra, we entered early this year. We have got about 12 touch points there. So we are a fully integrated business model. So we start with the driving school. People come to learn driving from us, and then you can buy a car from us. We also facilitate the third-party financial services in terms of the insurance for the car, the financing for the car, etc. You can do your spares, service and body repair with us. And then 4-5 years down the line, when you want to sell the car back, we buy the car back for our used car showrooms, and then you can walk away with another new car. So one of the key things is that when you are an integrated player, you cover the entire spectrum of the automobile usage of a customer. The customer feels like all under one house. This creates a much higher level of customer engagement and also creates a high level of customer retention. Now we touched upon in the first slide in terms of we are in the top 3 in terms of the service nationally across other dealers with all the OEMs that we are catering to. So we have done about closer to 950,000 services in the last year, out of which about closer to 8 lakhs is passenger cars and about 1,60,000 is about the commercial vehicles. So if you look at our passenger car sales, we have done about closer to about 35,000 cars, but the service that we have done is about 7,90,000. So clearly a sales to service ratio closer to what 22 times, which means for every 1 car sold, we do 22 services. If you look at Maruti's top 10 dealers nationally, their sales to service ratio will be around 10 and 11. So very clearly, people buy cars from others, but come to us for service. Similarly, in terms of the turnover, 15% of the turnover is contributed by our service business, while 56% of the EBITDAs are contributed within service. And within that 56% also, if you look at it, about 76% of that EBITDA is contributed by body shop or accident repair. This need not necessarily mean very head-on collisions. It's also about all that small scratches, dents, etc. So over a period of time, we've been able to grow this business as one of our significant strengths. And in terms of absolute volumes done, for Maruti, nationally we stand number 1, both in terms of body shop volumes as well as the total service volumes. We've been able to grow both organically and inorganically over the years. So what you see on the top portion, we've been able to acquire dealerships almost every year. So a few examples of that is in 2015 is when we acquired a Tata dealership which has coverage in terms of the northern part of Kerala, which gave us a very dominant presence in the Kerala market as far as Tata commercial business is concerned. 2016 is when we acquired a Honda dealership based in Kerala. 2019 is when we purchased a fairly large spare parts distributor in Karnataka, which gave us strong inroads into the interior markets of Karnataka also. 2021 is when we picked up 2 showrooms and 11 service centers of a 20-year-old Maruti dealer, which gave us a much higher presence in some of the underrepresented markets in Kerala. 2023 is when we acquired the Bharat Benz dealership based out of Aurangabad and Nagpur, covering the entire Vidarbha and Aurangabad area. We've also been able to grow organically in terms of the showrooms that we were opening. So in the last 2 years, from FY 21 to 23, we have opened 5 showrooms and 21 service centers for our passenger car division, 8 showrooms and 19 service centers for our commercial business. So both organically and inorganically, we've been able to grow over the years. We also have an experienced team of promoters and management. So we have with us Naveen Philip, whom you see in the middle, who is the managing director of the company, third generation from the family into the business. He's an engineer and a graduate from XIM Bhubaneswar. Previously used to work for Godrej based out of Bombay before he moved into the family business. On the top portion, you see the 2 other promoters from the family, Mr. John Paul and Mr. Francis Paul. Both has got about 50 years plus experience in the automobile industry. Both are engineers, and John Paul also used to head FADA, the Federation of the Automobile Association. Director, used to be with chairperson of the South Asia for Kantar Business Insights. George Joseph is a banking veteran from Kerala. Used to be the CMD of Syndicate Bank, Canara Bank, and Mandala Holidays. So he's been with us for more than 2 years. And Rakesh is also here, who is a nominee representative from the private equity management. In terms of so very clearly, we have kept 3 independent directors outside of the family and 3 within the family to create that balance. In terms of our senior management team, John Vogue, the group CFO, is here. He used to be the president at Rane NSK Steering and also the CFO at Plant Lipitz. Myself, I come from a telecom background, and Varun is our company secretary, previously associated with Joy Alucas, the jewelry chain, and the Muthoot, the NBFC major. Suresh heads our JLR business based out of Bangalore. He's been in the automobile field for quite some time, having been associated with dealerships of Mercedes-Benz and Audi, etc. Biju heads our Tata commercial business. He's also a chartered accountant, previously with Vasudev Adigas, Blue Ocean Beverages. So if you look at both the board and the senior management, we all come from very diverse and different background, which creates that management bandwidth and also brings in very, very diverse thoughts onto the table in terms of the strategies. So what were the key strategies that on a way forward we're looking at this? We've touched upon the third-party financial services and the services. Very clearly, disproportionately grow the share in those business, and also in terms of expansion in terms of the used car segment. Of course, we will continue to increase our share of business from our existing showrooms by investing in people, training, development, etc. As Naveen said, we also have a L&D center which works on the people productivity. Investment in technology will continue to happen the way the world is changing, and we are also focusing on continuing with our strategic acquisitions where we can acquire any dealerships within our OEM as well as outside the OEM. Whenever that right opportunity comes, we are quite keen to do that, as you saw in the earlier slide, and also expansion of our network into the newer geographies and expansion of our product portfolio. I think I'll just quickly run through this industry overview. Most of the people will know. So, India, the penetration of car per 1,000 is about 25. While in many countries it's in excess of 500. So and India's population is also quite big. So there's enough scope for growth in terms of the industry. And we represent about the major share of the states that you look at it. We have presence in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, which represents about closer to 13% of the industry. And we are associated with Maruti, which has got about a 44% market share nationally. So the other thing is in terms of the premiumization, the shift from SUVs. About 4 years back, 27% contribution of the total cars were SUV, which has come to about 50,000 currently. Customers are willing to wait for a longer period, and they're willing to pay a higher cost for the experience, and the rising average prices is also adding on to the revenues. And we are also seeing a shift from the unorganized sector to the authorized service centers in terms of the service. Thanks to the technological advancement and the skill of the manpower requirement, the smaller shops is slowly, the business which is being taken by the smaller shops is slowly shifting into the authorized service centers. Similarly, on commercial vehicles also, we are with Tata Commercial Vehicles, which has got closer to about 40% market share, and we got representation at about the 3 states that we are there, totally about 23% of the market. That we are there in those states, which represents 23% of the total commercial vehicle business for the country. This is in terms of the two-wheeler industry and the three-wheeler industry. It's about 4.7% is the penetration nationally for the two-wheeler industry, and about 4.7% for two-wheeler and 7.7%. So this is going to be an accelerated growth. As of now, Ather has got 11% share and Piaggio is at 27%. There's enough and more scope for deepening the penetration here. In terms of the financial overview, I would request John to come and present that. Thank you.